welcome back. In this video we'll be talking about web application firewall. So let's go ahead and start. So for this specific lab I have created a resource group which is WAF-RG. So let's click that. So right now I have not deployed any resources inside this. So let's go ahead and start with creating WAF. So let's search for WAF. So basically web application firewall is a type of firewall that is specifically designed to protect your web applications by monitoring and filtering incoming and outgoing traffic between the web application and the internet. So the Azure WAF provides this functionality by analyzing the HTTP as well as HTTPS traffic that flows through it and blocks any requests that are deemed malicious or suspicious based on pre-configured and user-defined security policies. So that is what the definition of web application of firewall. So let's click that. And let's go ahead and create the WAF. So coming to policy for, let's click that. I think it got stuck. Let's just a second. There we go. So coming to the policy for, there are two different things that you can add. The one is friend door and one is application gateway. So let's see, it indicates the resource type to protect the use of WAF policy. So in this case, let's go ahead and start with application gateway. You can also select friend door based on like what you're configuring, but in this case, let's go ahead and add friend application gateway. And resource type is WAF-RG, and coming to the policy name, let's add it as WAF policy application gateway. So let's app-G. So coming to the policy state, we have enabled it. So basically it is recommended to keep the WAF policy enabled at all the times to provide continuous protection to your web application. However, you can, you may need to disable the policy temporarily for maintenance or troubleshooting purposes. So in such cases, it is essential to re-enable the policy as soon as possible to restore the protection of your web application. So it's enabled. And coming to the policy mode, there are two different policies, which is prevention as well as detection. So coming to the first one, which is prevention mode. In this mode, the WAF policy is configured to block any request that violates the policy rules. So the blocked request will not be allowed to reach the web application, providing a high level of protection against security threats. So coming to the detection mode, in this mode, the WAF policy is configured to monitor and lock any request that violates the policy rules, but doesn't block it. This mode is primarily used to test and monitoring purposes to understand the type of frequency of security threats targeting the web application. So let's select the detection. So based on your needs, you can select accordingly. So in this case, we'll be selecting detection, and let's go to the next one, which is managed rules. So Azure Web Application Managed Rules, it refers to the set of pre-configured rules that are designed to protect web application from common security threats such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, or other OWASP vulnerabilities. So you can see the pre-configured rule set is enabled by default. The rule set protects your web application from common threats defined by top 10 OWASP categories. So the default rule sets are managed by Azure WAF service. Rules are updated as needed for the new attack signatures. So it will be updated on their own, and you can see we have different sections here, but it should not overlap with the other OWASP. So if you select that, you'll be getting another here. So that's the reason you should not select that, but however you can select the bot management rules. So there should be no overlap, then it's good to go. So let's leave it as default, and let's go to the next one, which is policy settings. So in this case, you can see the first one is inspect request body. So basically, inspect request body is a policy setting that allows the WAF to analyze and evaluate the content of HTTP request body of the web application. So the HTTP request body contains data that is submitted by the user through forms or file uploads or other mechanisms. By enabling the inspect request body settings in the WAF policy, the WAF can analyze the request body for malicious content and potential security threats such as SQL injection and other attacks. So if the malicious content is found in the request body, the WAF can block the request or take other appropriate actions to prevent the attack from reaching the web applications based on the configurations that you have selected before. So that is what it is. And the maximum body size is 128 and upload size is 100. So I'll just leave it as default. And let's go to the next one, which is custom rules. So here you can add the custom rules. So basically the custom rules refers to user defined rules that are created and configured by web application administrators to protect their web applications from specific security threats. So if I click add, so you can see you can add it and add the relevant priority, and based on the conditions that you have given, you can deny the traffic or allow, or just log the traffic. So based on your needs, you can add the custom rules. So let's go back. So right now I'm not adding any custom rules here. And coming to associations, so associations associate the WAF policy with a specific application gateway listener route path. So a WAF policy can be associated with multiple listeners, route paths, and application gateways. Associating with the application gateway will remove and replace existing WAF policy associated with the selected application gateway. So if you click associations, you can see we have 3 different options related to this gateway. The first one is application gateway. You can add the application gateway and associate this particular policy that we have created. So if you click here right now, since we don't have any application gateway, we cannot add that. But however, if you have application gateway which you have configured, you can just add it here. And apart from that, you can also add HTTP listener and route path. So you have more granular access here. So based on your needs, you can just add it, and in the end, you can just review and create it. So this is how simple you can create your WAF rules. So once it is done, you can just associate your WAF policy to the application gateway that you have created. So coming to this video, I hope you guys understood the concept of today's video, which is web application firewall. If you have liked the video, please click the like button below, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and please share the video. Thanks everyone.